Did you know that Thailand's tapioca is used in products you use every day? In this video, I explain why. Tapioca is a magic plant and is processed in many forms. It's naturally gluten-free. It also doesn't have a strong flavor, why it is used in the food industry. Tapioca is used in drinks as bubble tea with tapioca pearls, tapioca pudding, crepes and tortillas, chips and krupuk, as thickening in soups, stew, gravy and sauces, as gluten-free flour for baking bread, cakes, brownies and more, for making candy, jam and ice cream and animal feed. It is used for making toothpaste, natural paint, plywood, paper, adhesive pharmaceutical products, vinegar, biodegradable plastic, carry-out packaging and even ethanol fuel. Tapioca has many names across many continents. The English word is cassava, but it is called mandioca in South America. In Africa, where French is spoken, it is called manioc. In Spanish-speaking countries, it is called yuca. Here in Asia, we call it tapioca. The origin of tapioca is in the tropical areas of South America. The countries such as Guatemala, Mexico, Peru, and Honduras planted cassava 3,000 to 5,000 years before the plant was distributed across the Americas and elsewhere. In the 15th century, Portuguese traders brought cassava to the African continent. Cassava reached Asia around the 17th century, when Spanish brought it from Mexico to Philippines. In the 18th century, Dutch brought cassava into Indonesia. There is no clear evidence of when cassava was introduced into Thailand. It is assumed that it was brought from Malaysia around 1786. Originally, Thais called it man mai or man samrong. In the northeast, it was called man tontia. In the south, it was called man tet. Presently, it is called man sampalang, which is similar to the Javanese word for cassava, sampu. No matter how many names this plant may have, Thailand is currently the largest producer and exporter of tapioca products in the world. It generates a great amount of revenue for the country. In 2023, Thailand cultivated 28 to 30,000 ton tapioca roots on 10 million rai land, worth more than 100 billion baht. Cassava was first commercially planted in the south of Thailand, where they were planted in between the rows of natural rubber trees. Much of them were planted in the province of Songkhla. However, the production gradually declined as the rubber trees fully grew. Planting area was then shifted to the eastern provinces such as Chonburi, Rayong, Chachoeng Sao, Nakhon Ratchasima, Kamphaeng Phet, Chayapum, and Sakeo. There are two types of cassava in Thailand and elsewhere in the world. The first one is sweet cassava, which is used for human consumption. This type has tough or tender flesh, and taste is not bitter. It also has low hydrocyanic acid content. This cassava type is planted in many countries all over the world at large scale. However, in Thailand it is usually planted for household consumption than for commercial, as the market is very small. The second one is bitter cassava with relatively high hydrocyanic acid content. This is not suitable for direct consumption by human or animal. It is normally processed into products such as tapioca chips, pellets, starch and alcohol. Most cassava planted in Thailand are of this type. Growing tapioca is easy. Cassava is propagated through stem cuttings. Cut 20 to 30 centimeter sections from the stems. Make sure each cutting has at least 5 to 6 nodes. Plant the cuttings upright in the prepared soil. Bury the cuttings about 10 to 15 centimeters deep, leaving a few nodes exposed above the soil surface. Water the cassava plants regularly, especially during the dry season. Fertilize the plants every 4 to 6 weeks with a balanced fertilizer. Use a fertilizer that is high in nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Cassava roots are typically ready to harvest 9 to 12 months after planting. Pull the roots gently from the soil. After harvesting, wash the roots thoroughly to remove any soil or debris. The roots can be stored in a cool, dry place for up to 2 months. August is typically the peak season for cassava harvesting, providing a plentiful and high-quality supply of raw materials for tapioca production. The tapioca industry in Thailand has 3 types of production as follows: native starch production, dry powder, pellets and chips; modified starch production, starch derivatives production, glucose, fructose, dextrose, maltose, sorbitol. So now you know that you use Thailand's tapioca daily in the products you use every day.